improving your financial wellness. Now, here are your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
Show. That's right. Every Thursday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. right here on your hometown station and right here in the Vault Media Studios, custom-built studios just for you right here at Cherry Creek Mortgage. And then you can enter the Vault Media Studios, but the only way you can enter, because you don't have a key, is to go to donandgino.com, DONANDGINO. Click on the Listen Chat Live button, and voila. It is a live show, as you can tell by my constant bloopers. And today, we have one of our bloopers is missing today. He's on vacation, Mr. Gino Franti. So we have one of our top mortgage professionals from Cherry Creek Mortgage and a good friend of mine, of course, and yours, Mr. Daniel Hunt.
Good to be here. Thanks, Don. I appreciate that. It's always good to come back on the show.
It's good to have you, buddy.
Yeah.
It's always good to get I already know what Gino's going to say before he says it, and vice versa. So it's good to have somebody fresh on the show.
Yeah, fresh take on things, huh?
Exactly. And then today, we just had a great show with Miles McNamara with SEV Comfort Keepers in-home care, and boy, did he bring up some great information about how to handle that difficult conversation with your parents and how to handle it with your parents, your grandparents, and what your options are regarding our aging population. It's just a fact of life, and what's nice is Miles McNamara brought up some great options for us in very comforting ways, i.e. Comfort Keepers. Now I know where they came with the name, huh?
Yeah, I only caught the tail end of the show, but he did ask some questions that you don't often ask, and like, what do you do?
And when he brings up, it's important. It's education that he brought up, which was really cool. He brought up, a lot of people want to, when somebody's dealing with parents that have Alzheimer's or dementia, and they want to try to teach them, but it's a degenerative disease that is progressing, and you can't teach them. If they think it's, the salt is pepper, they're going to think the salt is pepper. You can't tell them different. So it's an education process. He's got 30 videos on all kinds of topics. So go to SCV, go to comfortkeepers.com and check out Miles McNamara right on Lyons Avenue. Today we have one of our really fun guests. We've had him on before, and you're going to love his energy and his enthusiasm and his information that he gives you. Mike Mersola with Peter Lorimer Group Estates is joining us here today. Thank you, buddy, for joining us again.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, you're ready to rock it out today, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
He's like, I hope I close this deal because I go to Maui.
I'm just waiting for title to record, that's all.
There we go.
Oh, you got a deal closing today?
Yeah.
Ah,
nice.
That's always a good thing, huh?
Always a good thing.
Maybe we'll hear the funding bell in the background of the show.
Well, it must have funded yesterday, right?
Yeah. They came in, signed loan docs, and they transferred the money yesterday.
Oh, nice.
So should close, I hope, today, not tomorrow.
Very cool. Well, that's Michael Mersola with Peter Lorimer Group Estates, our Burbank specialist, but he's just a specialist in the markets, and he's got 3 hot topics that are fairly fresh that we haven't really dug in deep on the show that you should know about during one of the hottest buying and selling times in the market right now. So you're going to want to hear these tips that Mike has for you when we come back on the next segment. But we always start off with what's going on in the financial markets today to keep you up to date, because what you hear in the media a lot of times has political spins to it. They might be old news. A lot of times they tell you what interest rates are. Two months ago. For example, when you see the Freddie Mac rate, the average rate, and all that, one of the things you need to know is, one, it's usually a week or two late by the time they compile the actual interest rates. It's usually a week or two late. They change daily, by the way. What do you think? Daily?
Every day?
Actually,
sometimes hourly. Yeah, it's crazy.
I know Dennis was during our show. We were only gone for an hour. He goes, did you get any updates? What's going on with rates? It's been an hour, Dennis. So, yeah, it could change on a regular basis. The other thing you don't notice is if you look in a paper, and this is just an education piece, because you really need to talk to someone you trust. And of course, all of us here at Cherry Creek Mortgage, right here on Turney Road in Valencia, right down the street from Valencia Country Club, you can trust what we educate you on and stuff. Because you look in a paper, and a lot of times you go, who's got the lowest rates? And you go through the paper, and you'll see these incredibly low rates. And you go, well, this guy's got the lowest rate. What a lot of you don't know, unfortunately, this is a media trick, is they don't put in there very obvious what the cost is to get that interest rate, right, Dan?
Yeah, how many points are you paying to get that rate?
Exactly.
And sometimes they do. I've seen in papers where they put in,
Point seven. It's
Point
usually
seven.
It's usually 0.78 or something crazy
But
like
I've
that.
also seen it upwards of 2.5 points.
Well, that's so they can show a
Yeah,
lower
the
rate.
greatest rate in the world, and people call and then say, "How much is it going to cost me?"
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. They don't know 2.5 points, and if you don't know what that means, if it's a $400,000 loan, $12,000.
Right, right.
So we can break that out, going, okay, and it saved you $70 a month, 12 grand. So that'll pay you back in 14 years.
Yeah, after you are done with the loan, you finally get to pay it off.
There you go. Yeehaw! So make sure you talk with a pro. We're just giving you some tips because there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. But just also another educational point is we're hearing a lot, and Dan, you probably hear this, and we can get Mike to chime in on this. Isn't it funny, Mike, that today people still think they need to have 20% down to get into a home?
Yeah, that's a misnomer. You can get loans up to 10%. There's FHA loans. There's even
3.5%?
3% loans. Some other mortgage. My friend David Garcia has these really phenomenal programs that aren't FHA, and they're regulated by Freddie Mac and FHA, the guidelines,
Right.
But their lender's a little bit more
there's
loose.
Down payment assistance programs. There's all kinds of stuff out there. So if you're on the fence and thinking you can't get into a home, now is the time, because what's going to happen is rates are going to go up and sell prices are going to continue to go up. Just so you know, wink, wink, they're going up. And what that's going to do, it's going to make it very difficult for you to get into the market, at least at the sell price or the area that you want to purchase in, the school district you want to purchase in, and so forth. And we saw it before when the market went up, that a lot of you unfortunately got priced out of the market, and that make you go to a whole nother market. For example, a lot of people that wanted to buy in Valencia then went into the Canyon Country area or Saugus area, and then they couldn't afford that. Then they had to go all the way to Lancaster and Palmdale. So take action before you can't, and find out what your options are. You'd be surprised. We get people in the homes every week. How often do you surprise people?
Speaking to that point, I have a client right now that I've been working with for about a year. She had some credit issues that we had to work on over the last year, and she makes a certain amount of money that qualifies her for a certain amount of house. Well, you know what's happened over the last year.
Price has gone up.
Price has gone up. Rates have stayed. They're a little bit worse than they were last summer, but they're still pretty low. And now the one house that she loved last year, she is completely blown out of the water on. She cannot afford that particular house, because it's now, I think, $50,000 or $60,000 more than it was even last year. So now she's having to move into other areas, into places that she doesn't really want to be in, to find a home that suits her needs.
Right.
And she's, needless to say, upset about that. And she calls me almost every day saying, "I cannot believe these are the houses that are on the market right now for the prices they're at." And it's a market like any other. You can't control what's going to happen with the prices of homes, but she's now affected by the fact that she could not buy last year.
But at least you're finding a way to get into a home, which is important. Nothing like home ownership, and I know Mike can attest to that. So we have Mike Mersola with the Peter Lorimer Group Estates, and he's going to help give you some really good, really interesting success tips that you need to know when either selling or buying a home, but mostly selling your home. How to get top dollar, how to eliminate pitfalls down the road that you do not want to have to deal with. And Mike's going to give a little insight into that when we come back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS.